All right, welcome back to the Life on Purpose podcast. Today, my guest is Tyler Finlayson of Rest Recovery Wellness in Bountiful, Utah. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Thanks. Well, we only met probably a couple weeks ago, maybe
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. So you opened Rest Recovery Wellness in Bountiful, um, that utilizes a lot of recovery equipment. And it's funny how we ended up in there. I think Josh was coming out of like a neighboring business and you had just
Yeah.
opened. And if there's anything we know about Josh Eilert is his love for saunas and cold plunges. Anybody that knows him will know this. But then you also have things like what the float tank. What do you call it? That's what we call it. Sensory
Yeah. Float tank,
deprivation.
float
Yeah.
spa, like any
Yes.
of those. I mean, you're soaking in salt. So you put salt in the name and you're good. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, um, we got to talking over the last couple weeks because Josh and I have been in and out of there utilizing it before we actually leave Utah, but we're definitely taking advantage until that point. So why don't you tell me just a little bit about the business and what you guys offer?
Yeah, absolutely. I have to say though, when I ran into Josh outside, I've never seen anybody light up more. So I've come
I
from
figured
like
I wish I
sales.
could have been there.
I was like almost taken back almost how excited he was. So
Yeah,
I from sales, so I'm very used to approaching people. And so
sure.
I saw him out there and I was like, I need to go talk to this guy, give him a free
Yeah.
visit card. And right when I went out to him, he was like, "You do? Let me see it. Let me see what
We've been looking at
but
putting a sauna in our home for a while, but we didn't end up
yeah.
staying in Utah long enough to put one here. So I imagine his face was just kind of like in awe.
Well, I don't know if I've ever had anybody book a session 2 hours after I met them. So he booked it pretty quick. So that was pretty
Oh, he's got
awesome.
a lot of time on his hands for now. Not so much in the near future, but
Yeah, to answer your question, Rest Recovery Wellness. So we opened this about 2 weeks ago. It's been, oh, maybe a 9 month journey to open this place.
okay.
Me and my wife have a huge desire to provide health and wellness to people. We've cared about it for a long time. We
Mhm.
teach it to our kids. So to open a place here in Bountiful, Utah that not only promotes like reducing inflammation and pain management, but teaching the proper way how to recover and take care of our bodies for longevity was always the goal. We also wanted to provide a place that was like affordable for people.
Sure.
There's a lot of podcasts that talk about like, your cold plunges and your saunas, the float tank,
Right.
hyperbaric chambers, which we have all of those. But we feel like the people that talk about that are very wealthy people, and it
Hmm.
sometimes makes your average person or just your everyday person feel like I can't afford that. I love to hear
Right.
what they're talking about, but I can't afford it. So we wanted to create a place like that. And we felt Bountiful call to us. When we opened this place, we still were like, how will people respond? Will people come out?
Right.
Oh, I just closed the doors right now on Saturday for the day, and it was packed. We opened up this morning. We have been open or busy every hour of the day.
That's
People are coming
amazing.
through, experiencing it. You have first-time cold plungers doing it. You got people who are experienced. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't a first timer. It was just yeah, we could talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
My cold plunge. Yeah.
It's scary. I mean, what did I tell you? When you do hard things, good things come from it, right? Like
Absolutely.
there's
Absolutely.
benefits when we struggle a little bit and you want to
Yeah.
stress the body sometimes. But everybody leaves here going, wow, I didn't realize that these things make me feel this way.
Right.
And like that's what makes me feel like excited and happy about what we're doing
Hmm.
because people want to take care of their body and people are ready to look for those things that do that.
Absolutely. So I want to go back to something you said about, health and wellness has been something that's been important in your family for a very, very long time and kind of
Yeah.
implementing that in your own lives and your children's lives.
Yeah.
Do you find that the timing now on on opening this business and offering it to the community, um,
Yeah.
was that, did it have anything to do with the fact that we are kind of seeing this shift, especially here, in the US, and a high focus on what it means to be healthy and the importance of being healthy? I feel like things have changed. I started this podcast 5 years ago, probably, and I would say the things I'm talking about now are way more accepted than they were in 2020 when I started.
100%. Yeah.
So is the timing? Um, do you feel called to do that now because people will kind of be like, okay, this is something that will be helpful to me?
I 100%. God, if you think back just to like COVID time,
Hmm.
2020, when everybody was locked in, I feel like
Yeah,
that's where you start to see people want to invest in that a little bit more. People were
absolutely.
stuck at home. They bought some things at home that they could do to take care of themselves. God, we were looking for anything that would help us get out of this crazy rut of staying at home,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
But I look at the world today, you have enough influencers that are talking about this. I really think that's a big push of why
sure.
we've headed this way. You hear people like Joe Rogan and different people that just talk about constantly doing it and what it's doing for their body.
Right.
And that's a big thing for people. They want to do that stuff. The other side of this is the diseases that we're seeing more of today.
Absolutely.
So, and this kind of goes into our story a little bit. Like me and my wife, we have many family members who have suffered through cancer. So
Hmm.
my wife just lost her father a couple months
I'm
ago
so
due to
sorry.
cancer. She lost an aunt due to cancer earlier or late last year. My mom just went through breast cancer last year. My dad got a tumor removed out of his brain last year that was
Wow.
non-cancerous, but still a big thing for his health.
Hmm.
And so look at what we can do possibly to, I don't know, be more preventable, to take more action in our own lives. And we truly believe that a lot of the stuff that we offer here are the things that can put us on that journey. Now, I'll never make a claim. I'm not a doctor, right?
Sure.
But we are starting to see studies that show that it can reduce illnesses and disease. Gall, I think there's a huge study out there that shows that just infrared saunas 3 times a week bring down heart disease by 50%. That's huge. That's a huge
Right. And
number.
I mean, we're talking a lot of inflammatory diseases as well. So
Yeah.
inflammation. So let's talk about kind of the process. And we can walk through like what Josh and I do or what I do. I do pretty much the same thing every time. Josh will switch it up. He likes
Yeah.
to float. I'm not quite ready to be with my thoughts that long.
Understand.
But um, let's kind of talk through, when I walk in the door, what does my session look like? And what are the
Yeah.
benefits of what I'm doing?
I love it. So when somebody comes in and does our wellness session, which is what you've done a couple
Mhm.
times, you come in and we sit you down in the compression boots. Now, a lot of people have seen compression boots with athletes
Hmm.
before, after a game, but what it's doing for you is helping your blood circulation. It's also helping with lymphatic drainage. So what that basically means is when we get done with like exercising or standing all day, you might feel that heaviness in your leg. It's important to take that time to help drain those legs, to help pressurize it a little bit so that we can feel that relief. We do that first because it's a great warm up to the
Hmm.
rest of that recovery session. I compare it to stretching before exercising. We're starting to get you warmed up for the rest of your recovery session.
Right.
After that, we move on to step number two, which is we have you change and get ready to go into the infrared sauna. So our regimen is 10 minutes in the sauna, 10 to 15 minutes, and then straight over to a cold plunge. And we do that twice for that contrast therapy.
Hmm.
Infrared saunas are great for inflammation, like you mentioned,
Right.
helps with pain management, helps us detox. That's a
Right.
huge one. So many of us have these chemicals and metals in our body. It's kind of weird with infrared. If you stand there long enough, you might wonder, like, why do I smell a little bit more in an infrared sauna compared to a normal one? It's
Yeah.
because we're detoxing more in that
Yeah.
all this stuff's coming out of our pores. And then when you go over to a cold plunge, you are now in this area that's stressing the body. You're reducing blood flow to help with repair on your body and get rid of pains and aches. We're spiking F proteins. We're getting a natural dopamine hit. The main goal is to do all this to, again, to reduce inflammation, but also just so you feel right in your head and in your body. You're taking care of it the right way. So you do that regimen twice, and then last you stop at our red light panels. So those are
Hmm.
6 foot tall panels. You have red light, you have NIR, which stands for near infrared. This is set at certain frequencies that go deep into the skin as possible.
Hmm.
Again, with inflammation, it's helping, pain management. I feel like I just sat at the beach and got the best sun without the burn.
Yeah.
Like it's just
That's the
amazing. We
important
don't
part.
get enough red light. Um, but it's a crazy feeling. Everybody leaves the red light going, I thought this was just for like the beauty. You got the mask that people
Right.
wear, but it does so much more. And that regimen altogether, you're just doing the optimal recovery and feeling right.
You know what's interesting? So Josh and I wear Aura rings.
Yeah,
And so we can kind of track what's working and what's not. And after doing kind of regimens like this, or in the past, we've had access to some of these things in the sports facilities that he's worked in. And
sure.
so it's been really nice.
Yeah.
So we've been able to kind of utilize those. And what we find is like our sleep scores are
Mhm.
like just heightened. I mean, they're just so much better. So you can kind of track if these things are working for you or not by some of these
Yeah.
wearables, which was interesting, I think, for me to be able to say, okay, wow, not only do you feel good, because again, I'm telling you, when I first came in, I said the ice bath is my arch nemesis.
Yeah.
I can do cryo all day, every day. That doesn't bother me, but it's something about ice cold water that it was just much more painful for me. However, so this time, like I said, we've probably been in maybe 4 times in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
And it got easier and easier and easier each time. And I think for me, especially, so I think I told you I struggle with autoimmune thyroid disease. So my hands
Yeah.
and feet are particularly susceptible to cold.
Yes.
And so I've been working on the hand part of it. My feet have actually, they've been fine. But the way you feel afterwards, and then being able to kind of track your metrics.
Yeah.
You can I mean it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's
So
crazy.
you
And I
sleep
think I've
better,
told
you
you
feel
too.
better, all of it.
Oh, 100%. And I think I've told you too, like when you come in, this place might look a little bit like a spa,
Hmm.
but when you get in that cold plunge, it's hard every time. You're not relaxing like you're in a spa. It's hurting, there's pain. And
Yeah,
that's how it's designed. Like when you
right.
go through hard things and you stress the body, we're now preparing ourselves to feel the pleasure of that, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's the thing I think I love about the cold plunge is because I'm actually like doing something intense and working for it
Right.
so that I can feel the benefits. And
Yeah.
I just love how like free my brain feels after a cold plunge.
It
Like
does clear
it's
your head, that's for sure. That's for
yeah,
sure. And
it's
I always
amazing.
had, so I think I've done it by myself, maybe just a couple times, but it goes way faster if Josh is over there doing it right next to me.
100%.
You can talk
Oh,
and kind of, take your mind off of it a little bit.
yeah.
Um, so yeah. Okay, so let's go back. What is kind of, I know we talked a little bit about your family and kind of the health issues that kind of rose this to the
Yeah.
surface just a little bit. So what are some things that you do in your house with your kids and your family to really focus on health aside from the business and some of these tools?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So one thing I want to say, when I was a teenager, I recognized that what I ate helped me feel different. And a lot of
Right.
teenagers don't
No,
understand
they do not.
that.
I fight my
They're
own
eating
on it.
junk food. But I was weird. Like I remember thinking, okay, I ate this, and all of a sudden I feel like more at peace in my body. I don't
Mhm.
hurt in different areas. And I started to make this connection when I was young that like it was almost like spiritual for me. Like
Sure.
I felt like I could like connect with my God a little bit clearer when I ate right. I felt like I just was freely thinking. I could go about my day without worrying that I like am gonna have stomach pain or things like that.
Hmm.
And so I made that connection pretty early on. And then as I got married, so me and my wife got married kind of young. I was 22. She's
Hmm.
2 years older than me. She's 24.
That was
And
Josh
so
and
we
I.
got married.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Hmm.
go. And so we were young, and my wife, so what's interesting, there's a rare cancer gene in her family. It's called
Mm,
fermenti, something like that. But basically, it's hereditary and it can be
okay.
passed down, and you're more susceptible to cancer.
Sure.
And so we found this book called The China Study, which is, if you've never read it, it's very informative about how what you eat can actually reverse disease.
Yeah.
And we found that to be true in our life. And so we've really pushed healthy eating for our kids.
That's amazing.
And it's not always easy because kids are still picky. So we
Yes.
found creative ways. One of my favorite meals to make with my kids is we make what's called basically like egg pancakes. So in
Uh-huh.
a blender, I'll put eggs, I'll put spinach, bell pepper, some like good oils like avocado oil and blend that up. and then you put it in a pan and it turns into like this pancake and flip it. And then we make fresh guacamole and spread it on top. And so because they're
Nice.
part of that process,
Right.
it's fun for them. And we've made these pancakes that are green and they eat them and they love them. And then we're getting all these vegetables and healthy things. And
Right.
so that's been a big push for us. We try to talk about why sleep's important to our
Mm-hmm.
kids, and why we're not just telling you to go to bed at 10 because we're sick
Right.
of you, or 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. We want you to go to bed because we want you to develop right and be your best self. And sleep is one of our best tools to be
Sure.
healthy. And we try to limit soda intake
Mm-hmm.
because now we're more informative that high fructose corn syrup's horrible for us and all those things they put in sodas. So we're trying to really educate. And I think that's the key. Don't tell your kids, but
Right.
educate on why.
Sure.
And that's been effective for
I
us.
bet that soda part was really hard, especially living here. When we moved here, what, 10 months ago, I had no idea how popular the soda shops were.
Oh my gosh.
I don't
It's
drink the stuff myself.
yeah.
So, it didn't affect me any, but then all of a sudden my kids are like, Mom, all the kids are
Uh,
going. There's all these combinations. I'm like, oh my gosh,
yes.
this is just fighting everything I believe in.
Well, it's hard. And we almost say, like, there's people here that will say that's healthy. Like, compared to what
Right.
you could do,
Sure.
oh, drinking dirty sodas is a great alternative. We don't do that in our house. I'll be honest with you, I've never been to a soda shop in Utah. Maybe I'm the only Utahn who's never been, but I
Probably.
just, yeah, probably so. But it's not up my alley. I would much rather, like, we make our own electrolyte mixes at home. I
Yeah.
get coconut water, lemon, lime. You put in your own like salts, and it's
Yeah.
just delicious. And we drink these homemade ones, and I just think it's fun to create your own health.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So this started young for you, and then it's starting young for your kids, and hopefully that starts kind of this process. What I've been noticing, like I said, I've been a health coach for since 2020, and started the podcast at the same time. And so the people that I interact with, um, on a daily basis, this has been a really difficult shift, and they're trying to really kind of stop these cycles in their tracks and start something
Yeah,
different for their own families. And so that's been something kind of fun to see that, these
yeah,
these cycles of kind of just poor eating and poor exercise habits and sleep habits and all of that are kind of going by the wayside for some of these families. Um,
yeah,
so were you, this is something I didn't ask you, but I suspect.
yeah,
Were you an
yeah.
athlete?
I was,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
this is
I
probably
try to say I still am a little bit, but
so does Josh, but man, I've never seen a guy so afraid of like popping Achilles as that guy.
yes, that is true.
You-
I kind of feel the same way. But yeah, no, I played sports all growing up.
Okay.
So I loved basketball, I loved soccer, I
Mhm.
loved football. As I got older, soccer took over. So I kind of naturally like figured out that soccer was the one I was the best at.
Right.
And I played in high school. I was on the varsity team ever since a freshman, continued
Wow.
to grow in that area. And then I went out and played Division II soccer in Hawaii at BYU
Okay.
Hawaii.
Okay. Okay. So I suspect that a lot of these tools were put into place for you as an athlete as well.
You know, it's interesting. I was just talking about this with somebody today. So I feel like in 2010, which
Hmm.
is when I was playing, 2010, 2011, we got shown some recovery things, some health stuff, but nobody explained the why. Like I can just remember so clearly being in an ice bath with a teammate,
Hmm.
and we were only in there because we were told that's what you do. Like, why
So
am I
not
doing this?
explained the why.
100%.
Yeah.
So that was really it. Like I would get my ankles wrapped and you'd like maybe hear about some health stuff you should do, but nobody ever talked about nutrition for sports.
Right.
Nobody ever talked about like how you should recover so you can get ready for another game that's tomorrow. You're playing back to back sometimes. It was just figure it out. And I look
Interesting.
back now and I'm sure maybe even Josh is like this. Like when you look back, if you could have the tools that you had today,
Oh,
how would that
yes.
have like improved my experience, or what else could I have done?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, he started his playing career in junior college and then walked on at a Division I school. And I don't think
Yeah,
even back then there was a lot. I mean, I don't know. That was late 90s, early 2000s. So I don't
Sure.
know that any of that was available, but what has changed, what shifted like through his coaching career and what's been implemented has
Yeah.
been really impressive to watch. And I think he told the story the other day when we were in there about one of the former athletes who was showing up late to practice because he was going to a local business that had a light bed, a red light bed.
Oh yeah.
And so finally, coach was like, "Okay, get a light bed. Like we don't need him being late to practice. This is obviously
Yeah.
important to him." And so those things started to really kind of show up in the facilities, the ice baths, the cryo chambers, the light beds. I mean, you name it. These athletes
Yeah.
have a lot at their fingertips these days for recovery. Wearables. I've talked a lot on this show about wearables. So, like I said,
Yeah.
we wear the Aura Ring to be able to track sleep and heart rate variability and all of that. And strangely enough, like through that, we were able to predict before we got sick. So like
Yeah.
COVID, each of us, like our numbers went haywire before we got COVID. So you kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Or just when you're overly stressed. So it's amazing what's kind of available these days.
Well, it's interesting because it's going to change how sports are done going forward in the
Oh yeah.
future.
Yeah.
Because athletes are playing longer. You have
Yes.
LeBron James who credits hyperbaric chambers, all this
Hmm.
stuff to why he's in his 40s playing
Yeah.
at a high level. But like, take just what we're doing here at Rest Recovery. The goal here is to help somebody who maybe in their 50s or their 40s was like, I can't even go on hikes with my kids.
Right.
Now they have all the energy and the capability of going out there and doing these things with their kids at an older age. They're
Sure.
maybe even their grandkids, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we do is prolong our longevity and help us be active as much as possible.
So would this be a good process for somebody who maybe is recovering from an illness? So
Absolutely.
maybe went through cancer treatments and is clear and now wants to kind of get their strength back
Yeah,
and detox and bring inflammation down and feel less pain. And I think about that a lot because obviously in our house we think in terms of kind of athletes and athletics and all of
sure.
that, but recovering from illnesses is kind of when you want to implement some of those tools too.
Oh, 100%. And one thing that I try to make sure here is that we never make claims that a doctor would. So I'll always tell people, hey,
Sure.
ask your doctor, make
Yeah.
sure that it's fine with you. But we have plenty of members here that are coming in. They're actually in the process of chemo right now. They'll come in and
Wow.
get red light. They'll
Okay.
do all those things because they truly believe that it will minimize that process for them and get
Yeah.
them out quicker.
That's
But for
amazing.
example, hyperbarics are great for anybody who's had brain surgery. We know several people that will come in and they'll come and do a hyperbaric and it will help relieve some dizziness. It will help migraines go away. A lot of people do that stuff just to get on the right track and get
Yeah.
over that bump. Military has used stuff like hyperbaric and our
Mhm.
PEMF machine for years for
Okay.
wound care and illness care. And now we're starting to get access to these things. And it's almost like, why didn't you share these secrets sooner with us? But
Right.
yeah, 100% it will help with illnesses, but we'll never make those claims.
Sure.
Doctors can make those claims, but I will always tell everybody, come in here, see what it does for
Hmm.
you, and make sure that it's a resource for you on your recovery journey. We
Yeah,
build it with you.
absolutely. I like to base my, yeah, base what I do on how it makes me feel per se.
Yeah,
So, and
smart.
we definitely feel much better after visits there. So let's talk about the hyperbaric and the PMF. That's something we have not
Sure.
kind of discussed. Josh does the
Yeah.
PMF quite a bit for his lower back.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so let's start there.
Yeah. So it's PEMF,
Oh,
so pulse
PEMF. Yes.
electromagnetic fields. No, you're good.
Yeah.
I always abbreviate it too, but you're good on. So what it's doing is it's sending magnetic pulses. You can do it on your joints and on your muscles, but the main goal is that it's actually helping reset that.
Okay.
So it can stimulate collagen repair. It can help with those aches and those pains. But like I'll have knee pain after playing basketball certain days during the week, and the next day I'll do a 10-minute session. It's completely gone.
Wow.
Now we're not going to say that it's going to like fix it one time. You got to do it a
Right.
couple times,
Pretty
several times,
regularly.
do regimens. But the reason why Josh comes in is because I'm sure he feels immediate relief on his back when he
Yeah.
does it.
Yeah.
So, and I have
Those
several.
tall guys, it's usually lower back and knees.
Yeah, yeah, they're always bending down to get the door
Yes.
frames.
Yeah.
But no, PMF is amazing. It's I call it my secret tool here just
Yeah.
because people don't really know about it. And when you find out
Right.
about it, it's this amazing thing that that really does give a lot of people relief. And so if you haven't tried it, find somewhere that has PEMF.
Hmm.
For any of your listeners, I highly recommend it. It can shock you a little bit, like you're like, oh, it's shaking me.
I remember it was a
Samples, but
jolt. I tried it the other day just
yeah,
because I wanted to be able, like I said, before we move and before we leave and don't have access to this. Hopefully, I'll find something that's similar. But if
yeah.
not, I'm gonna go through the whole gamut before before we're gone. But yeah, that gave me that's a little jolt.
But it's good. Hopefully you felt relief after. So
Yeah,
that's the goal.
absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
on the hyperbaric though, this is pretty awesome.
Hmm.
So hyperbarics, what it's doing is generating almost 100% oxygen into a confined space.
Hmm.
And we only have 21% in our normal air that we breathe. So if you think about like diseases or illness or anything, they absolutely hate pure oxygen. So when
Hmm.
you oxidate the blood and you put in that pure of oxygen, it's going to basically scare that illness and
Right.
that disease and it will send into regression. So people do this for longevity and athletics. Like I mentioned earlier, it helps with like your brain and migraine. When we just bring in pure oxygen, it does nothing but help us.
Right, right. That's amazing. Amazing. Well, we've enjoyed, like I said, we've enjoyed our time, and it seems like people are definitely getting on board with tools like these and places like these. So what is your hope moving forward?
Yeah, our hope moving forward, we just want to keep continuing to educate on recovery and health. If we can figure out like how to bring as many people through here just to like get them understanding of why they need this in their life, that's a huge goal.
Hmm.
This is our first business we've ever owned, me and my wife.
Wow, okay.
And there's a lot of scariness that comes behind it. There's a lot of
Mhm.
anxiety. But we went into this because we really felt like a gut or like a prompting
Yeah,
to do something like this. And it's something that we are trusting and want to move forward with.
yeah,
But in return, like we feel like as we provide the community with something that's affordable, that benefits them, that karma will also come in and benefit us in terms of like helping this grow.
yes,
And so
yes,
we just feel that like that two-way energy, and that's how we've always done things.
yeah,
I feel like when you go into something that's so pure like this, something that can help people, and you make it a very selfish motive,
yeah,
it can go the wrong way. And we've seen that in different areas. But our goal is to continue to do that. We hope that we continue to have platforms like this to talk about health and wellness. If at the end of our lives, me and my wife, we can look back and say that we helped people enjoy their life and be with their family more and like not have to suffer through pain, that
right.
would be a very good thing.
That's amazing. And you don't see that very often, kind of the pure of heart businesses. But based on our experience, like I said, just in the last couple of weeks, people are
Yeah.
responding. People are very much
Yeah.
responding. So people are in and out of there when we're there. We've enjoyed it. I hope to
Yeah.
enjoy it just for a couple weeks longer for
Yeah.
sure. But so, okay, so where can people find you? Website, try it out, all of that.
Yep. So our Instagram is Rest Recovery Bountiful. So you can look there. We have links in there that take you to our website at restrecoverybountiful.com.
Okay,
We offer everybody a free wellness session. So that boots and the sauna and the cold plunge and the red light, we let you come try that for free.
that's
We
amazing.
truly believe as people experience that, they'll want to come back. And again, that goes with that karma. We'll give somebody that resource and hope that they come back and positive energy comes back to us. Um, but yeah, you can book that first free session, share that with your friends, come on in. But our goal is just to take you through. We'll help coach you through those cold plunges too if you're a little
Yeah,
bit
you
new
did a
to
really, really good job.
it.
I was not looking forward to that, but you talked me through it, and now my time is a little higher. I am happy to say I'm almost up
I'm a
to
little guilty
3 minutes.
of getting distracted, and when people go, "I'm here for a minute and a half," I'm like, "Oh crap, they're at 2:30." Shoot, you get to come out.
What was it? So the first time Josh came in, it was 20 minutes
Oh,
he sat in that thing.
he did about 20 minutes, and I was like, "This is definitely a record." I've had somebody do 8 minutes, maybe 10, but he did about 20, and I was like, "Okay, Josh, it's
Because
it's
he's a
time
little
to
crazy.
move." He was awesome. You both are
Awesome.
amazing. It's great to have you.
Awesome. Well, I've enjoyed this conversation. I can't wait to share it. And I hope, like I said, I hope that good energy comes back to the business. And I look forward to following from afar.
Yes, please.
And like I said, enjoying it up until the time that I leave. So, Tyler, thank you so very much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be on.